When you're creating a presentation in Microsoft PowerPoint, you don't need to limit yourself to visual elements. You can actually embed sound files in PowerPoint as well to bring your presentations to life. Let's take a look at how it works. First, in the Slides pane, select the slide to which you want to add sound. Then, up in the top navigation, click on the Insert tab. Over here on the right, you'll see an option to insert sound. When you open the menu, you'll see 4 options. You can insert sound from a file or from your clip organizer. You can play an audio CD, or you can record the sound file. I'm going to use a clip on my desktop, so I'll click Sound from File. Now you'll get an alert box that asks whether you want the sound to start automatically when the slide opens, or if you want to click to start the sound. I'm going to choose the second option. And there you'll see a little sound icon has been added to your slide. So I can test the sound by double-clicking on the icon here, or by going to the slideshow view and clicking on the icon just once. I'm curious to see how it looks in the full slideshow, so I'm going to switch to that view. Sounds good to me. Now, one thing to note is that you can only embed a WAV file into your presentation. Also, by default, all WAV files larger than 100 kilobytes are linked rather than embedded. You can increase the size of an embedded file up to 50 megabytes, but you may see a performance slowdown. Any other sound file formats like MP3s or MIDI files are going to be linked to your presentation. So you need to be sure to include the links with your presentation by saving it as a PowerPoint package. Now let's say I want to scrap that and insert a sound from my clip organizer file instead. First, I can delete the sound file just by selecting the icon and hitting the Delete key. Then I'm going to go back to the Insert tab and open the menu for Sounds, but this time I'm going to choose Clip Organizer. A list of files will appear here on the right in the Clip Art task pane. I can scroll through to find one I like, or I can try to narrow the selection by typing in a search term. Let's try the word piano. When you find one you like, just click the arrow for the file icon and click Insert. There's the alert box again asking when to start the sound. So I'm going to choose When Clicked. And there's the sound icon in my presentation again. I'll just double-click the icon to take a listen. Then I can click anywhere else on the slide to stop the music. Now I'm going to illustrate one more quick example. First, I'm going to switch to a different slide in my presentation. And this time I want to use a track off a CD. First, the CD has to be in the computer's CD-ROM drive. I've got that taken care of. I'll go through the usual steps to insert a sound file again, but this time I'm going to select Play CD Audio Track as my source. Then I can select the track or tracks from the dialog box that pops up. It also lets you set the timing, play, and display options. You can select Loop until Stop to have your music play repeatedly until you stop it. Click the sound volume icon to get to the volume slider. And you can also choose whether to hide the sound icon during your slideshow. Once you've set everything, click OK and choose whether you want the music to start automatically or when you click. This time a CD icon appears in the slide instead of the sound icon. When I double-click on the icon, it will play the designated track off the CD. Remember that the music from the CD is not embedded into your presentation. You must have the CD in your CD drive to play the music during your show.